Okay, the next technique we're going to talk about is adding transitions between clips. If you remember, transitions are ways that we can join separate clips together. So when I click on one of these transition types underneath the editing tab, you can see that it starts to sample or preview the different types of transitions. When you select these, cross dissolve for instance, it shows you how it will blend one clip to the other. Okay? To apply a transition to different clips, it really is just a matter of clicking on that transition and dragging it down and letting the little green plus sign show up between the two clips and letting it go. You'll notice you'll get an icon between the two clips, and they'll get this. Once this little red bar renders, or the computer remembers what it is that you've done, you can go ahead and play that transition and you can see how it's joined those two clips. Okay? Once you have transitions between two clips, if you try to move a clip around, it'll tell you that the transition must be deleted. So I always warn people that before you start putting transitions in between different clips, you want to make sure your clips are essentially where they need to be, because if you do any kind of moving around, you're just going to have to delete the work you've already done. Another big problem I find with the transitions is that when I apply it, sometimes when people try to apply a transition, they don't realize that there's a duration for that transition. So if I increase the duration of that, it's going to take longer for that transition to take place. Now the only problem is that if the clips I'm joining are somehow shorter than the duration of my transition, it's not going to let me put them on. Okay? So for instance, watch, I'm going to take this clip Disintegrate that's set at 3 seconds and 14 frames, and I'm going to try to drag it between clip 1 and 1 here. When I drag it on, you can see that it's not going to let me put this transition on because my clip has to be longer than the transition that I'm putting between the two. Okay? If I click OK, and I notice that the clip I'm joining it to is actually 2 seconds and 1 frames, so I'll slow that down so it's below 201. And now if I grab that same transition and drop it in there, you'll notice that it does apply and it doesn't give me an error, and now I've got those together. What I'd like you to do now is to go ahead and set a transitions between clip 1 and 1, 1 and 2, 2 and 3, and 3 and 4. Okay? I'll reorganize those. So when I look in your timeline, I should be able to see you have applied 3 transitions to the middle of your piece. 1 and 1, 1 and 2, 2 and 3. Alright, go for it. Try different transitions and experiment.